Maren, should we try? Memory's gentle face collided with the cold mask from minutes ago. You always knew I liked her. Stop the innocent act. Vision blurred, I swiped at tears, too late, crashed into the car ahead. Lately Miles bosses me around, peel me grapes, brew me da hong pao. I obey, drowning in guilt. The accident left me a scratch, his forearm snapped. He glared, cast waving like a club. Quinn, you learned to drive from Shane. Shane had wrecked to right after Jade left, slammed a tree, to months in hospital. I asked casually, what caused his crash back then? Miles flapped the plaster arm. Pining for Jade. Sneaked overseas to see her, came back a zombie. Now the idiot's vanished, hasn't even texted since I broke my arm. So Shane knew and still didn't bother. Our chat history froze at outside when you're ready. Not even fake concerned. Seeing me slump. Miles spotted the hydrangeas. Aren't you OCD about flowers? Stick those in water. Shane hadn't texted, but weekly bouquets kept arriving. I dumped the whole bunch in the trash. Miles blinked. They were still fresh. They were never my favorites, only mattered because Shane sent them. Cut flowers die no matter how much you tend them, I smiled. If they're doomed anyway, sooner is kinder. Miles, sensing my mood, announced a night out. Turned out to be Jade's welcome home gala. The Vance family went all out. Cascades of fresh lily of the valley flown in that morning, stupidly expensive. Miles, cast and all, insisted on going. The minute we arrived, his card buddies dragged him off. I sat alone, scanning for Shane. Then I saw her white gown glowing. 3 years had polished her, old money princess in full bloom. She waved, delighted. Maren. Long time. I don't hate Jade, she was nice enough. The only other girl our age in the circle, but she eclipsed me, always had, and Shane loved her. The old throb returned. After awkward small talk I grasped for a topic. The lilies are gorgeous. She plucked one, casual. Shane shipped them from Finland. Somehow he remembered I love lilies. Jamie, can you believe he found this many? They're my favorite, too fragile, short-lived, half lost in transit, yet he'd hunted them down. He never sent me lilies. I'd never told him I loved them. Once, at his office, his assistant asked my favorite flower. Love drunk, I said. Whatever he picked was perfect. No wonder the bouquets were blue, assistant's favorite suit color. Still arriving, maybe he forgot to cancel. I finally saw it. He never bothered to learn. Yet mind her childhood favorites, crossed continents to make her smile. Each thank you text I sent, they're beautiful, earned his reply. Anything you want, I'll put in your hands. He didn't even know the color. Words lie, details don't. Love hides in details, so does indifference. Shane arrived late, suit rumpled, abandoned, mud on his Italian shoes. His eyes locked on Jade. I was invisible until 5 feet away. Shane, you made it. Ever the polished air, he masked the flinch and greeted us. I noticed the gift box. Avoiding me, he handed it to Jade. Took forever to find. Sorry I'm late. Jade ripped it open and squealed. Our childhood wish bottles. Listen, I want to be the happiest princess in the world. So embarrassing. Shane's gaze melted over her. She already is a princess, crowned by every heart, including his. He'd not only conjured her favorite flowers, he'd unearthed a bottle buried 15 years ago. He forgot. Today was our 2nd anniversary. Officially we hadn't broken up. Jade's dimples flashed. This is my favorite gift ever. Shane shot me a warning look. Ice froze my veins. I taunted anyway. Such a devoted brother. Does your girlfriend know? Shane's smile cracked. Jade spotted a tall figure across the lawn. Adrian's back. See you. She floated off. Shane dragged me into the deserted winter garden. Thin sweater, no shield against the cold. If it had been the old days, he would have yanked off his coat in a heartbeat, draped it over my shoulders and gently circled me in his arms, but he didn't. He only frowned, every thought fixed on the defiant words I'd just thrown at him. Maren, what kind of stunt are you pulling? The wind made my eyes sting. I shut them and swallowed the ache. Do you even remember what today is? He froze. Of course he didn't. I went on, voice thin against the cold. It's our 2-year anniversary, Shane. You promised that when we hit this day we'd tell the world about us. He looked down, expression tangled, lips parting in a half whisper. Sorry, I've been tied up planning Jade's welcome home party. Important people forget important things that never mattered to them. Greeter duties for her trumped our milestone. How laughable. That busy? Too busy to spare 5 minutes for a proper breakup? These last days I'd almost stitched myself back together. If he'd apologized like an adult, I would have walked away clean. If Miles knew, he'd have lunged and swung first. But childhood loyalty still tugged at me. I didn't want scorched earth. Maybe my comeback fell too sharp. His face darkened, brows knitting tight. You used to be gentle, agreeable, why so nasty? I never said we were over. A dull throb cracked open in my chest. Gentle, agreeable, so that's why I was chosen as the loneliness band-aid. Wind shredded my voice. Then let your invisible, just for fun girlfriend do the honors. We're done. He exhaled in quiet relief, opening his mouth yet saying nothing. I knew it wouldn't be a plea to stay. He was probably glad the villain role wasn't his. I forced myself past the hurt. And stop pitying me, it only makes me feel pathetic. Don't send any more flowers, I've always hated them. Confusion flickered across his eyes before he looked away. As expected, those bouquets weren't even his. The wind scattered my thoughts like torn petals. Time felt frozen as I stared at this speechless man. A ringtone sliced the silence. From the way Shane's face lit, I knew who it was. Flowers forgotten, his brow smoothed, voice instantly soft. What's up? Miles and the guys need me? I'll be right there. He pocketed the phone, lighter already. Maren, we'll circle back to this later. Off he strode, coat flapping. I gazed at the freshly turned Morgan in the garden. 12 years ago he'd buried a wish bottle for me right here. Minutes ago he dug one up for Jade Dotmer. Changes sheets daily had crouched in dirt without a care. Mine was still somewhere beneath the roses. Did he even recall? Fool that I am, his warmth once let me believe a secret love had bloomed. Dull supporting characters don't suddenly sparkle, they stay dull. He'd only enjoyed being idolized while nursing heartbreak, maybe out of pity, maybe because my ache mirrored his. Anything but love. I sank to the grass and sobbed. Lights blazed inside the estate, but the garden lamps clicked off. No one heard my wind-whipped crying, just like when I was small and forever 2 steps behind the others. I don't know how long I knelt there, my throat scraped raw. Then Jade's voice drifted over. Adrian, I've blown my allowance. Come win it back for me. I lifted my head. On the second-floor balcony stood a tall silhouette. That vantage point framed the entire garden. Back lit, unreadable. How long had he watched? How much had he heard? Adrian, what are you doing out there? Jade tugged the French door, calling him in. I swiped at my cheeks, ready to bolt, when his calm order floated down. Stay inside, it's cold. I'm coming. He steered her back and slid the door shut. Miles rang at the same moment. Where'd you disappear to? Grab a bite and come up, say hi to Adrian. Outside the game room a crowd had gathered. Adrian sat at the card table in a dark suit, aloof elegance wrapped around him. One subtle wave and the fawning circle melted away. Miles took the chair opposite, tugging me forward. I managed a soft, "Hi, Adrian." He studied me with cool interest, saying nothing. Of course, small fish rarely register in his ocean. I've always been a bit afraid of him and slid halfway behind Miles. At least he didn't mention the garden, maybe he hadn't heard. Miles played atrociously, his chips almost gone. Adrian's stack had also evaporated courtesy of Jade. Shane, meanwhile, had built a mountain of chips. Miles flexed his supposedly aching arm and shoved me into his seat. My luck's dead. Maren, take over for me. I found myself facing Adrian, eye level with those fathomless black irises. I discarded a 5- bamboo. Shane followed, flinging the same tile. Adrian called the win for 6 bamboo, single weight on 5. Shane gave an embarrassed chuckle. Adrian, you passed the last 5. Why punch me with this one? A faint, cold curve touched Adrian's mouth. Sorry, last chance. Shane flipped his hand for proof. I broke my own set just so I wouldn't feed you.